What's up, guys? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. Welcome back to the channel, the weekly live show that is everything and anything Corvette. If you want to talk about Corvettes or anything Corvette, this is the best place to be and the best time to be at that place. So today we are bringing David back on the channel, DBM Racing. He's here to wrap up the giveaway tonight, which we're going to talk about in 1 second. We also have Joe on the other line here. He's going to talk to us a little bit about some of the HPO Vet Exchange stuff in a second. But I just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in again. You guys are awesome. See a lot of the green names popping up as usual. You guys, you're true patriots. So I really appreciate it. But we have some really interesting news tonight because just yesterday I was privy to some leaks that happened, and they have confirmed the Grand Sport for 27, and they have also confirmed a color coming for the Grand Sport. And the other color, the new color for 2027, we know basically 1.5 of the colors coming for 2027, because the other one is most likely going to be something I think it's going to be, but we definitely know one of them, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But before we do, I want to bring Joe on. He's going to talk a little bit about the HPO Vet Exchange stuff, what we're doing, what's new, everything like that. So, Joe, you want to take it away?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Hey, Justin. Hey, David.
Hello, man.
What's up?
So two cars to talk about this evening. The first one is 2024 Torch Red Z06. It's got cool gray interior, red exterior, front lift, carbon fiber roof, which is beautiful, engine appearance package, red calipers, 18,878 miles, one owner, clean Carfax, and just the kind of service records you want to see intact. It also has 4 new tires, and the sticker price on this vehicle is $137,000. It still has bumper-to-bumper warranty through December of this year. And you ready for the price? $99,995 or $37,000 off of MSRP. So check that out on the site. It's pretty awesome. And then we've got one more this week that is not quite yet up on the site, so consider this a preview. It's also a 24. It's also a 3LZ Z06, black exterior, red interior, black wheels, red Brembos, also a one owner, clean Carfax. This one has just 6,714 miles. Also still bumper to bumper. This one runs all the way through September of 2027. So you've got 20 months of bumper to bumper on this particular vehicle. Sticker on this one is about $130K. And it's yours for $106,995. The other thing I just wanted to mention is we continue to, obviously, as you've heard, partner with Griswold. And if you're interested in something new, there are now over 60 new 26 C8s across the line, from E-Rays to Z06s to Stingrays. So give us a shout at hpovetexchange@gmail.com for any of these two. Or if you're interested in something new, do reach out to us, because our partnership with them is a VIP one, in as much as if you reach out to us, we will connect you directly with them. They'll know it's coming from us, and you can assure yourself the absolute best price.
Awesome. Joe, thank you. As always, guys, give Joe a big thumbs up. He's always on here telling us the good news. So appreciate it, Joe.
Alrighty. Have a good show.
Yep. Try to stay warm.
I will. Same to you guys.
All right, see ya.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, guys. So as you heard there, Joe's talking about the car that's on the website. And trust me when I tell you, I've listed this on my Facebook and on the YouTube community tab. And I've gotten an unbelievable amount of interest in this. The fact that this is one of the only Z06s out there for under 100 that has, it's still a 3LZ. It's under 100 and it's a 3LZ interior car. It's going to go quick. I'm honestly surprised it hasn't gone yet, but I just gave 3 points of contact over to Criswell at this point. So they may be able to negotiate a price that's even lower than that, to be honest with you. And if they do, I mean, that's under 100 on this car is already insane. So If you guys are interested, make sure you're sending the email over to us. It's right on the website there, but if you needed to get an HPO vet, VETTEX change at gmail.com. Yeah, X, like, whoosh. No, seriously. Yeah, so if you guys are from Pennsylvania or really anywhere on the eastern kind of seaboard here, you're probably feeling the same way we are. We just had 2 feet of snow removed from our driveway so we could get in and out because, you know, we haven't really had a bad enough snow to get a snowblower here. And this snow was 2 feet and it was super wet. It was like almost impossible to shovel. You basically have to have a snowblower at this point, and we don't. I'm going to have to get one after this year because I mean, we haven't had a bad snow and literally it's been almost 10 years. So it was like a pointless purchase. But now, if you guys are like in the same position as me, did you guys get any snow, David? I know it's cold, but did you get snow?
Nope. We got some ice, man. Like, and again, down here, that's what it is. You know, but you guys will see it on Instagram. There was somebody in downtown Atlanta filmed the truck and like 2 guys sitting on the back, like with like things just throwing ice out. That was like our ice truck out of the back of like a F-250. Nice. So it iced, but most of it melted off today. But it'll refreeze tonight. It's cold, but yeah, ice is our big problem right now.
Darren Burnett says, "Do you guys have Criswell's financing resources available through the partnership?" So if the car you're looking at, that red Z06, that is actually, you would go straight through Criswell for that. If we get to the point where, like, let's say, you know, David was selling his car and I was trying to connect him to one of you guys, that would not be brokered through Criswell as of now. That might be something we bring in later. To be honest, that makes a lot of sense, but it depends on how that looks on Criswell's end as to whether or not that makes sense for them. But any of these cars, basically, like, it will be clear what cars are being provided by Criswell and what cars are being provided by us as a means to connect buyers and seller. In this situation, the red car, like I said, is from Criswell, but when you go through us, like Joe said, you're going to get the best possible price and the best possible negotiation tactics because we're a volume dealer, basically. So anyway, that's perfect. I love that idea. 24 Riptide says, buy a snowblower, put a Corvette emblem on it, and write it off on your 26 taxes. I may do exactly that, actually.
Just put a little HPO sticker on it.
I was going to say, put HPO, yep. Yeah. Chopper Larry out here, he's freezing at 62 degrees in Southwest Florida. Poor baby.
I know.
All right, guys, so
Florida
real quick,
opted out.
Yeah, they did. And thank God. I'm glad someone did. I wish we did, but
exactly.
Real quick, guys, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this upload, I'm going to talk about the Grand Sport and the colors and everything. I'm going to do that real early on here just to get it out there. I want to mention the giveaway before we do, though, because tonight is the last night for it, and we are about $1,000 off of offering the free clear cover for the convertible, guys. So we still need to get about $1,000 more, and then we can also offer that for the convertible dudes. So if you're interested in these intakes, again, I'm going to show some pictures here. If you guys are new to the channel, this is DBM Racing's creation, which is this guy right here. He is custom painting these intakes to basically whatever color you want, but the ones I'm going to show you are pretty much, for the most part, stock C8 Corvette colors, which look really awesome in the engine bay. So the first one here is going to be, of course, your pearl white, was the 70th anniversary edition white. Then we have tech bronze here, which isn't really something that GM offers on as a color on anything other than some vinyl graphics and their wheels, from what I understand.
It's actually a Cadillac color, Justin.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
I knew that. I meant to say Corvette, but yeah.
Yep.
So really cool options here. And this is a good example of the fact that you don't have to go with any specific color. These are just the colors that people go with. If you want, like I said before, if you want neon pink, neon green, you could do that. And the throttle bodies down the center, of course, he's painting them black. You can paint them whatever color you want as well. Even the throttle bodies on the very end, you can paint them whatever color you want. Or if you want to go big, go to Solar Performance, or actually David offers them right through him. So if you win this, you can opt to also add Solar Performance 91mm ported throttle bodies, at which time he'll paint them and install them on the intake. That way it's a one stop shop, basically. You throw this thing on and you got modded throttle bodies and a cool custom painted intake. Now, other than Tech Bronze, we got Torch Red, of course, one of the more popular colors because that goes with pretty much every color out there. But just look at how much better that looks than your stock black plastic intake. I mean, it's incredible. It blows my mind every time I see these pictures that GM has not offered this as an option. Here's 3 of them sitting side by side: the Pearl White, Tech Bronze, Torch Red, the new Roswell Green. Again, black throttle bodies, but painted Roswell green to match the car on the outside. Another shot of that.
Yeah, I've actually done a few of those lately. Like those are getting to be real popular. There must have been a lot of people buy Roswell green Z06s, man.
Yeah, and actually we're going to talk about that in 1 second. So again, here's another Torch Red under the hatch, and with the hatch open just to show you just how much better that's going to look over your stock black one. So again, guys, get in on this now. $10 is an entry. $50 or more is double entries. We have a couple people leading the pack. Jay Brazelton. I'll have to pull up the list here to tell you, but there's a couple guys leading the pack here. But that does not mean that this is over by any stretch of the word here, guys. So we got Jay Brazelton, James Middleton, Charles, Anthony George, and Kevin Reynolds are leading the pack. If you guys want to get in on this, this is the last night for it, so be sure you are getting in tonight. We are giving this away tonight.
Yep.
So, start it off. Let's do it, guys. Get in on this giveaway.
And 3LZ Riptide, you asked how long. I actually have some that I just picked up from my supplier from GM sitting here. So whoever wins tonight, it'll be painted. It'll be shipped probably by the end of the week. So as long as I get your information from Justin this week, next day or so about what color you want and whatever, it should go out at the end of the week or first part of next week, man. So
there you go. So you don't even have to wait, guys. And we talked about this briefly last week. If you do win and you decide to take your stock intake off, put the one that David's sending you on, you can actually take your stock intake, send it back to David, and he's going to give you $350 or so back based on the core charge. So you could potentially come out ahead on this thing if you guys do it right. So
and Gregory asked about DIY install removal. So I'm now shipping like just paper instructions with it. But when I go up to Justin's here in a little bit, we're going to be doing his with his Z06. I'm going to, because we had an install video and then it had multiple people that were the creators. And then when we were trying to share it, it got corrupted and YouTube screwed it up. So I'll have another install video that will be coming that I'm going to do when I do his. I'm just going to take the time just to do another video. So that way I can send it out personally when you guys get it. So
perfect.
Yep.
And, yep. So that'll be awesome. What's up? Hey, Becca. Jay Brazelton says, I won't win tonight. Come on, Jay. Come on, Jay.
Hey,
You've won so much stuff on the channel.
Jay, I know he wins all the time, but if you don't, I'll take good care of you, man. We'll talk afterwards. I promise you, man.
There you go. Jay, one way or another, you're winning something, whether it's
you're winning.
Yeah, whether it's the actual intake or just winning our hearts, you're going to win something. Don't beat yourself up too much. You've won a lot on the channel, and yeah, right now you're in the top 4 as far as entries are concerned. So we did just get one. Who was that? Okay, so
I was saying I've been running mine for 2 years now. And with the high temp clear reviews, because people ask me about coloring or discoloration with the heat or whatever, you will have absolutely no problems with coloring. It will stay as good as it looks when you get it out, as long as you take care of it. Again, I would recommend ceramic coating it when you get it to make it easier to clean. But to be honest with you, I've been running mine for 2 years and it looks just as good as the day I put it on.
All right, so we got an additional entry from Kevin Reynolds. He's in for now the leader at 170 entries. The next closest is 160, James Middleton, 160, Jay Brazelton, 140, Anthony George. So guys, it's a close race on the top 4 or 5 people there. But make no mistake, this thing is not over. So jump in on this if you can, guys. Like I said, these intakes are typically $3,000 ish. So
plus tax, plus shipping, plus whatever. Yeah. So
you can potentially win this for a significant amount less than you would buy it for brand new from David. And these things, I speak from experience. I had one on my black car, and I'm going to have one on my Seawolf gray car here in I don't know, about 2 weeks. And they are very high quality. Something that, honestly, even the ones that come from GM, the Edge Red painted intakes are not even as high quality as these. So this is literally higher than OEM quality, which is not something I say often. So if you want to get in,
Yeah, because I actually do have quite a few people that have the Edge Red one that will reach out to me and want it, and I basically paint an Edge Red one, send them, and they send me their Edge Red one, and I send it to the part chart in Jersey. But yeah, there's plenty of people, and I did mine specifically. Like I ended up getting an OEM one later and didn't like it at all, so went ahead and did mine anyway. But and then who just asked? Chili Pepper, yes. The Accelerate Yellow. I haven't done a color yet that hasn't looked good when it's come out. Obviously, I have my favorites, and again, lately, the Roswell Green and the Hysteria has been blowing me away. But I've done the Accelerate, the Competition Yellow, the Amplifier Orange, all the off colors. They all have come out looking good. They really do.
Yeah, and Brad, with your calipers, I'm pretty sure are yellow. I would highly recommend doing something. I would do either yellow or torch red with your car, and either way is going to look good. I've seen the Accelerate Yellow intake before, and it looked good.
Yeah.
The Torch Red, I've obviously seen in person. I've seen the Riptide Blue at Carlisle. I'm trying to think of the ones that I've seen personally in person. I think
the gold one that on the on the Tactile car, that gold one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I don't think well, I mean, the ones you had sitting at the booth too. So, I mean, these things are painted really nicely, guys. So, again, once he does the Seawolf Gray and he sees it in person, I'm sure that's going to be his new favorite because that's going to be a cool color.
Dude, I put it together. Oh my god!
Oh, you already did it.
Good. Yeah, I put it together today. No, because I want to ceramic coat it for you first, man.
Oh, okay.
Come on now.
All right. I guess I can't complain.
That's what I'm going to do after the live stream is ceramic coat it and then send you pictures because I just put it together today. So.
All right, so we got James just entered in for he's in for 10 entries. One thing to keep in mind, guys, like I said, this giveaway is ending tonight. We are now at $300. We need to get $700 more tonight to make it so whoever wins this, if they have a convertible, they will also get a clear cover that goes underneath it that will be thrown in for free. So we are $700 away from making that happen as well. Again, this isn't going to matter to you if you have a coupe, but if you do have a convertible, you will get that for free as well. Yeah, Sebring Orange. I did see that at the booth too. I'm pretty sure that looked good.
Yep. Yeah, we did a Riptide blue car too as well that had orange. She did the Z06 in orange. She had orange calipers, and we did the Sebring Orange on. Oh, that looked good too, man.
Yep.
So.
All right, so let's talk about the news really quick here, guys, because I want this to get out there as fast as possible. Anybody watching who wants to hear about the Grand Sport confirmation stuff. So there was a leak from internal systems at GM, dealership kind of level systems, that flat out talk about the Grand Sport. So this is no longer hey, this might be coming. Even though I've been sure for roughly the last 2 years that it now is 100% confirmed. We are getting the Grand Sport. So let me see here. Charles is in. Charles, I'll get you in there.
Yeah, I'm so glad it's like a confirmed now, and I'm really hoping they do some really cool stuff. Like, bringing back the limited edition would be sick.
So that's literally what we're going to talk about. So
yeah.
All right,
I've been waiting all day to talk about this.
I know. I'm trying to keep up with these entries too. So we got Jeffrey. I know. He's in for 10 entries. He's in for $50. So Jeffrey. Bernie.
Yeah, and I just answered that question. Like, I am ceramic coating Justin's, but if you order an intake or you want an intake or you start working with me on the process of getting an intake, I don't charge very much at all, but I can ceramic coat it for you if you don't feel comfortable doing that before I send it out. Just an option as well. It doesn't take me that long. When I have it apart, it's real easy to do. So.
Vlad says Justin mirror gray silver based on his aviator style shades. Hey, if GM ever wants to do something like that, I am more than down with that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so seriously, Lil Pause, what's up, man? It's been a minute since I've seen you in here. You're pretty close. Actually, you're dead on. One of the confirmed colors coming for 2027 is Admiral Blue. 100% it's coming. So what I'm going to do before we go too much into that is I'm going to show you the leaks from the internal system here at GM again. Where is it? It's right here. This is the one showing, you can see right there highlighted, Performance Package Grand Sport. This is internal to GM's ordering systems, 100%. This is not any doubt at this point. The words Grand Sport literally exist in GM's ordering guide right now for C8 Corvette. Now, this is obviously coming for 2027, because with 2027, we are getting some new colors. If you guys haven't heard this yet, the colors being discontinued for 2027 are going to be Hysteria Purple, gone, and Riptide Blue, gone. So no more Riptide Blue, no more Hysteria Purple, and in its place is going to be a gray, an unconfirmed gray color. The way that the name is worded in the internal system here, as you can see, is called Pitch Metallic. So you see there, it's the GEC Pitch Metallic. Yep. So it seems to me, and a lot of people that I've talked to about it, sounds like that is likely a gray. And I would be okay with that. I think we're due for a good gray after dropping Seawolf, so that's pretty cool. I think we're going to get a gray. And the part that confirms the Grand Sport, of course, is this one. The new color there, codenamed GTR, which I think is kind of cool, is Opulent Blue Metallic. Now, Opulent Blue has showed up in order systems in the past, and that is Admiral Blue. So Opulent Blue is the internal code name for Admiral Blue. So 100% we're getting Admiral, which of course 100% makes sense to bring back for the Grand Sport launch in 2027. There it is. There is literally no further confirmation of the Grand Sport needed whenever you're talking about a new color coming back, and it's not even a new color. It's a recycled color being Admiral Blue, which was very popular in the Grand Sports, going back even to the C4, that Grand Sport Admiral Blue with the white stripe down the center. I guarantee you that's coming, 100%. And it starts with the Opulent Blue Metallic color being the Admiral Blue. So Grand Sport is no longer a story. It is a confirmed car coming in 27 with Admiral Blue and likely a new gray color coming. So
actually, I was talking to Matt, my painter. When I go down there tomorrow, I'm going to see if he punches it in, if it'll mix it.
That's a good point.
Like when he punches it into the computer for the GM codes, because it should all be GM mixed. So if he punches the code in, if it'll actually mix it, I'm going to have him spray something for me so I can see what it looks like. So, because they already have the code out.
Yep. And now Rick Conti's in the house. So he's confirming that he has seen that same thing, but he didn't want to talk about it for obvious reasons. GM puts him in YouTube prison.
He's in timeout.
He's in timeout, that's unfortunate. But yeah, me and Rick had talked about this in the past, so we knew obviously it was coming. But whenever I saw these leaked images, I was like, all right, there's zero doubt left. And the fact that Admiral's coming back, I mean, it literally confirms Grand Sport is coming. And yeah, like I said in the past, the last time Rick was on, he was one of the first ones I remember hearing talk about the Grand Sport. So that was well before anybody was talking about a Grand Sport. Nobody, including myself, nobody was thinking a Grand Sport was coming, and Rick was talking about it. So anyway, that's pretty much going to confirm the Grand Sport here. And Admiral Blue coming back it's an interesting touch, but of course it makes perfect sense with the Grand Sport.
Right.
But at the same time, Admiral Blue was never my favorite blue. Honestly, Riptide or what's the blue? Why am I having trouble remembering this now? The blue on the C7.
I like the Le Mans blue that was on the C6, the 06.
It was very similar to that. Blue. What was the... I can't remember the blue that was on the C7 Corvette for the first 2 years. Somebody will remember it. What was that blue? Why? Wow. Laguna blue. So yeah.
Laguna.
V8 behind his first one.
Yeah, because they went from Laguna to, and then they had the Lake Elkhart, and they got rid of the Lake Elkhart. And then,
because it went from the blue that you had mentioned on the C6, which looked very similar.
Right.
They made it a tad darker, I think, for Laguna. Then from Laguna, it actually went to, it was Elkhart.
Riptide.
It went to Elkhart first.
Well, Elkhart, then Riptide.
Yeah, then Riptide.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love the Le Mans blue, though. God, those dark blues.
Yep, so Admiral Blue and a new gray, most likely. Professor Corvette says rumors Seawolf Gray and Frost Beige from C3 are returning. I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, this new gray is a metallic, so I guess it could possibly be Seawolf. I mean, that'd be cool, but I highly doubt they'd bring that back a year after discontinuing it.
Not if it's that close.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
There we go. Chopper
I'd
Larry
be all
says,
in favor of the Lamar coming back.
Chopper Larry says Rick Justin can be your patsy for future leaks. That way GM has no idea. They're like, how does this guy know this stuff?
How does he know everything?
Let's see. Could you see GM
George
changing
Blue.
the E-Ray name to Grand Sport X to revitalize it? Me and Rick actually talked about this a couple weeks ago, and that would be about the only way that I would even see a remote possibility at the name change. But Rick actually brought up a good point, because if GM were to do that, that is basically them admitting they made a mistake. And that's the part that it's like probably not going to happen. So,
you know, and we talked about it too, like a Grand Sport X, like, and just to say I have a GSX, like, I mean, it just works so well.
Cool.
It would be cool. It really would. But Rick's right. I mean, that would be GM going, oh, sorry, we named it the wrong name. Now we're going to make it something else. They'd never do that.
Rick says there's still 2 little surprises coming for the 27 Corvettes. That's good to know. Surprises are always good, but whenever
Love
you know. Star Car ZR1 says Opulent Blue and Admiral are the same GM paint code. Yes, they are. That's what we were saying. Is so in the order guide it says Opulent Blue. That's like the internal code for Admiral, basically.
Yeah, but it's the actual same paint code. If you look them, they're both the same.
Yeah. So Z06 Hot Rod Todd says, what's the deal with Yellow Jacket exterior color? All of those names are those colors. They're all like internal color names. None of them are new except for the pitch, metallic, and the opulent blue for 2027. The rest are current colors. V8 says, Justin, when you get the ZR1, you're going to have to retire the custom tag. Yeah, my HPO Z06 will have to get retired, but I own a plate for my ZR1, my C7 ZR1, that's just HPO. So for the new ZR1, it will have to be HPO ZR1 probably.
Yeah. Well, don't put it out. Somebody's going to get it and then try to sell it to you.
Oh, God. Yeah, forget I said that. I'm cutting that out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That would be my luck. Someone would do something like that.
Somebody's like, I'll sell it to him.
Yeah. So Rick Conti says again, the E-Ray is your Grand Sport X. So very unlikely they would change the name at this point, just because then they would have to admit that they made a mistake. Okay. We did get some entries. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, no glass IndyCar nerd. One of the surprises is not no constraints. That's never a thing. There will always be constraints.
No, the surprise is constraints.
Exactly, always.
Oh, look at
Bill.
Bill.
You know how exciting I when I think about it too. You know, the new LS6 and an E-Ray. Like when you think about that, that would be really exciting.
Yeah, we're actually going to talk.
Man.
We're going to talk a bit about that today, because there's a thread over at the Corvette blog. I think it's the Corvette blogger, where they're kind of guessing what they think the horsepower
is going to be.
And I actually have somewhat of a confirmation from somebody at a dealership level, and I don't know how good this is because I haven't heard from this person in the past on this, but relatively decent information saying that it's going to be 540 horsepower. So if that ends up being the case, 540, then obviously this is a pretty good source for this, but it's a pretty high end dealership and somebody relatively high in that dealership that said that. So yeah. Jay Brazelton, I got your donation. I got all of the donations are loaded up as of this point right now. So if you guys want to keep going, actually, let me see where we're at as far as whether or not we're going to chip in for that. We got 1, 2, 3. We are at $600, or $700. So we need 300 more to get the clear cover for the convertible guys too. So if you win this intake, and we're at over $3,500 all together, David and I are going to provide the clear cover for your tonneau cover, basically on the C8 Corvette, so you can then see the engine, the custom painted engine cover that you just want.
Absolutely.
All right.
Post your vanity plate. Yeah. As long as you already have it and it's not a planned one wheeler. So, actually, did I tell you, Justin, I changed the vanity plate on my Challenger?
No, what'd you get?
Okay, so because I just had to do my registration, but I have this one says 2024 Z06. This one says 2012 Z06, and my Challenger says not a Z06.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Steve Robertson says, who makes the clear cover? There's a bunch of people out there that make them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to all of them and see who we can get it the cheapest from, basically. I'm pretty sure, as far as I can tell, there's one manufacturer that just divvies out to a bunch of different resellers. But ultimately, it will be either that or we might, depending on the price, we'll work out something. But it will either be the clear one or the one with the carbon fiber trim around the outside if we can get that one cheaper. Vlad says, does PA DMV charge extra for vanity plates? Of course they do. No, everything is extra nowadays.
What is it in PA? Mine's $25 a year down here in Georgia. What are yours?
Oh, it's not anything additional a year. You just have to pay up front.
Okay.
I think it's like
we have to pay every year $25 extra for a vanity plate.
Ours is the same every year, but it's $100 up front.
Okay. All right.
Mark Gerber says, go Pack go. Yeah, unfortunately they didn't go to as far as I would have liked them to this year, but we'll see. Joe says 540 horsepower feels right. Keeps it a good way south of the 670 for the Z06, which is why I do believe that's about where we're going to be. And again, guys, if you're interested in the LS6, the new engine that's going to be in the Grand Sport, over at the Corvette Blogger is where they're kind of taking out examples of, or guesses, I should say, of how much horsepower. So first one is fewer than 500. Second option is 500 to 535. Third is 536 to 560. And then lastly is more than 560 horsepower. I personally am going to be the third option here because I'm thinking, based on what I was told, 540. But I'm going to go ahead and vote and see where that puts me.
That's a nice place to put it, because even with the front motor, then on the E-Ray, it would put it, still kind of under that margin. But it's going to be interesting though, because a 540 stock LT or LS6, man, you do some bolt-ons to that joker plus the front motor, it's gonna move.
Now, one thing to keep in mind on that, David, is that a lot of people have speculated, or not speculated, just automatically assumed that because this is a Stingray, because it's going to be in the E-Ray, that it's going to be tunable. That's not going to be the case. When the LS6 comes out, it is going to be treated as a new motor, a new engine. It is not going to just be like, oh yeah, right off the bat, you can tune this thing. It's not going to be a continuation of basically the LT2. So
they'll be changing the ECU.
They'll have to piggyback if they can, which even then, that's not always available immediately. So you could get a Grand Sport, and maybe in the future you could throw something cool at it. But
they're not adding the Bosch ones off the Z06 and Z01, are they?
Not. I have no idea at this point. Okay. There is no confirmation, but it is possible.
It's a much better ECU, but it's a pain in the ass. Like it's taking them how long to get into it? You know what I mean? So.
Yep. So even over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, or I'm sorry, the Corvette Blogger, they're guessing right around the same thing I am, 536 to 560, which of course puts it in that area of 540. So I would bank on somewhere right around 540 if I was you guys. It looks like a lot of people are in a very similar position. So Charles donates 100, and he tells me to go ahead and reserve my vanity plate. I like it. Thanks, Charles. So nobody's going to beat me to it now. I'm going to do it.
Get it for the Lyric, so that way you can just transfer it back over when you get the ZR1.
The Lyric already has a custom plate, so I don't know if I could do that. But Charles is in. He's now in for another 20 on that too, so he's leading the pack. And I think I just saw, actually, yeah, someone just donated. Yep, Anthony George donates the $300 on Venmo, so we are now giving the clear cover as well if you have a convertible. So if you win the intake, you are also going to get a clear cover for the convertible C8 Corvette. Now, this is only going to be provided if you do have a convertible, of course. So try to be honest with us on that, guys, because it's an extra cost out of David in my pocket. So if you have a convertible, we're glad to help. But at the same time, if you don't, it would be nice. So we are now at the point, guys, where if you want the intake, you are going to be getting the clear cover for the convertible if you have one as well. So don't hold back.
Yep.
We are finishing this up tonight. So Anthony,
and like
George,
I said, as long as I have your information, you get it to Justin. Justin will certainly get it to me right away. I can probably get it out by the end of the week, just so you guys know. So
perfect. All right. So Kevin Reynolds is in for another 100. Kevin Reynolds is in for, so he's at 190. Anthony George and Jay Brazelton was in for 100. Yeah, we got him. And Bill Miller. Bill Miller is in, I don't think this is his first, but it's definitely up there. Bill Miller is taking his shot at getting this, and that would be interesting because he has a red mist car, so
yeah, he does.
A red mist would look good in there.
Oh, it would look fantastic. Like I said, red mist ended up being like after I'd done a few, I was like, God, this looks so good.
Yeah.
I just stand there out in the sun and just like hold them and like look at them, and
red mist on red mist looks good, and so does torch red. Torch red on a torch red car looks really good too. So
yep.
Almost missed tonight. Yeah, you definitely don't want to, Anthony. You're in the top 5 of donations on this thing. So
exactly, yeah.
What was the thing I saw from Rick Conti says, remember we broke on Justin's show a couple weeks ago, the new LS6 will have auto stop start. Yep. So between the auto stop start and then right before that video we did, I was talking about the cylinder deactivation too. So the engine's going to have both of these things, unfortunately, and it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's good to know, you know.
Do you have a vanity plate on your TRX?
Yeah, HPO TRX.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty
Ricky
much
said go buy
$100
piece of
HPO or
crap.
something.
Ricky said go buy $100 piece of crap just to put your ZR1 plate on.
That would be funny. You're driving down the road and the car's like backfiring and stuff. It says C8 ZR1.
That would be hilarious, dude.
All right, so let's see. Yeah, if it's a Bosch ECU, good luck. Now, with that said, I have it on good authority that the Bosch ECU has been cracked. They are into the Z06 currently. It is not available to the consumer yet, but it is coming soon. Soon is what I keep hearing. I don't know what that actually means as far as an actual time frame, but they are in the ECU at this point. So it is very, very, very likely we're going to be seeing that very soon. Yeah, Chopper Larry, that's a great question. How can we only have 68 or 71 thumbs ups now when we have over 200 people watching, guys? Smash the thumbs up. Let's get to over 100 here because we're kind of behind schedule at this point. I'd love to finish this thing up with 200. And I mean, if you need a reason to do it, look at this custom painted intake for your Z06. Look how good that looks. If you like custom painted things to match your current color of your car, smash the thumbs up. Let us know. Let us know you're liking this stuff. It really helps, you know, kind of tell us what we need to keep doing and what we should stop doing. And not only that, it's free. It's a great way to give your feedback.
Yeah, everybody that gets theirs sends back text, email, whatever, how amazing they look. They're like jewelry. I mean, I keep hearing that all the time, but they really, really make a huge difference, guys. I mean, and then I got started doing this because I got sick of looking at the black one myself, and I bought the GM one, the Edge Red one, and I was like, this is crap. This doesn't look good at all. And I went ahead and did it myself. So that's how I got started. I was like, there's no way I want to have this car with a crappy looking, you know, piece of plastic in the back that looks like it came off a Toyota. Like, no way, man. No way.
Yes, even Riptide says he likes the Edge Red intake. It's a nice color. But the thing is that if David can do it in Edge Red as well, and it's going to look even better than GM's Edge Red because they don't, their Edge Red is not an overly good coverage. I mean, you can still see a lot of black.
And they don't clear it.
Yeah, and they don't clear it, right? It's like a matte finish almost. And I had it on my black Z06, and nothing else on my black Z06 was Edge Red. Everything was torch red. The calipers were torch red. All the accents were torch red to match. So that's when David started doing all this, and I think I had one of the very, very first intakes on that car. And yeah, that's the way to go.
Yep.
Kevin Horan, I got your entry. So everybody that has donated so far, you are updated on the list. So as of right now, looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 entries, or 15 different entries, I should say, with some of these guys having some serious amount of entries, so their weights are going to be a little bit different on the wheel, of course. So, yeah.
Yeah, Kevin said he sent one. Don't want to miss out on the best giveaway yet.
It's actually the second. Well, it's tied for the first because David did this once before last year. I actually looked back through my text messages to see it was almost the same exact time last year. So it's like,
was it
one? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we didn't even plan that.
It just... Right. It was just 1 year later we started talking about it again. Yeah, LT4 Powered says good painting is on constraint. It literally wouldn't surprise me. And actually, whenever the Edge Red intake, whenever they first announced that or showed it as an option, it was on constraint. And not only was it on constraint,
it was because I wanted it and couldn't get it.
Not only was it on constraint, you couldn't get it initially on the website. You had to tell the person you were ordering the special order code for it so they could add it because it wasn't even available on the order site.
Exactly. Yep. That's right. And V8 behind, if you do 20s on the rear, it'll sit flush. You don't have to do anything on the front, but like an 8 on the front really brings it nice.
8 will bring the front flush, 20 brings the rear flush.
Yeah. And Foundry 3 does some ones that are flush that are perfect for the front, dude. They're amazing.
Turtle says, do you think the 27 E-Ray will have more horsepower than the Z06? If they do, if the LS6 actually comes out with 540 horsepower and they keep the same amount of power on the front hybrid motor, it would have to. I mean, it's literally going to have 45 more horsepower than the current setup does. So if they do that, yes. And then it begs the question, is something going to change for the Z06 then to keep it in the same kind of slot that it's in now? That's to be seen, I guess.
Yep. That is to be seen.
Yeah, Turtle or V8 Behind says the Grand Sport's always above the Stingray, but less than the Z, but it has never been different horsepower. The Grand Sport has always been the same amount of horsepower as the Stingray. In this case, it still will be for 2027 because the Stingray will be getting that engine as well. But on paper, it's technically more than the Stingray currently has.
Correct.
So just for clarification, in 2027, the Stingray is getting the LS6. The Grand Sport is getting the LS6, and the E-Ray is very likely getting the LS6. So all three of those cars will have 540 base horsepower. So
here's something one of my friends brought up today when we were talking on the phone. So LS6 comes 27, right? We get the Grand Sport. The E-Ray is going to get the same motor. Does the LT6 get a bump in horsepower?
That's what I just asked that. And
but that's what I'm saying. Like, really, does it? I mean, I can imagine 10 horsepower would be really easy to get from these things.
Absolutely.
With a GM, easy to get 10. And it doesn't even have to be big, like 10 just to make sure that we're that much better.
I think it would be easy to get 30. And then we're at a nice round 700. Yeah.
And again, there you go.
I mean, we basically did that with the stuff we've done. And that's without tuning.
Right.
So if they have access, obviously, to the tune and everything, they could easily tweak a couple things and there you go, 700. Yep. One of the things a lot of people wondered right off the bat was why did we stop at 8,600 RPM? Why not go all the way to 9,000? Probably a fueling thing. But now with the ZR1, maybe the new revised LT6 or whatever they want to call it, maybe it has port and direct injection for a little bit extra fuel, and they run it to 9,000 RPM. There's your extra.
I will say after last week we talked about, the fueling, et cetera, I went back and looked at the dyno logs and stuff that we were doing when we were doing this car with all the airflow mods that we put on it. And you're pretty much
maxed
over 90% duty cycle max on the current injectors in the car when you're at wide open throttle with cold air intake, ported throttle bodies, exhaust, that stuff. So it would be a fueling issue for sure. So,
all right. So, Mark Gerber says, is there a world where the E-Ray keeps the LT2? Honestly, yes. There is no confirmation that the E-Ray would get the new LS6. Does it make sense? Absolutely. But that does not guarantee anything. And if GM really wants to keep that E-Ray below the Z06 and they don't want to change anything with the Z06, they would absolutely keep the LT2 in there. So there's no confirmation of the E-Ray getting any motor change. There is confirmation that the Stingray would share the same new engine as the Grand Sport. So both of those are 100% confirmed. They will be getting the LS6.
Yep.
So other than that, Steve Bowling says, any Racing Sport Concepts discount codes from HBO? No code, but all you got to do is call them. And when you get them on the phone, tell them what you're interested in and tell them that HPO sent you, and they'll take care of you. On that,
Rick says it is getting it. Wink, wink. I love having Rick in the chat.
where was that at? I don't see that.
It's like one of the last ones that just popped up. He says it is getting it, guys. Wink, wink.
Okay, then there you go. That's pretty much as much confirmed as most of us need to hear.
Right.
So it looks like it is going. If that's the case, then let's see what happens with the Z06. Something's got to give.
It would be nice, like I said. I mean, because again, they don't really have to do a whole lot because when it comes to factory, you're not pushing as much air as we are with all these mods. So the duty cycle wouldn't be as high. So you could easily, like you said, give
That's
them
true.
10, 20, 30 more horsepower. And then you'd have to worry about it later where you'd run out of fuel. But once they open it up, like once we get the end user interface for the tuning with the cracked ECU, then you can put more octane in it and some other stuff. But again, I don't know, man, like fueling is going to be an issue. I looked at the logs and I was like, wow, man, I want to run E85, but to run E85 at almost 9,000 RPMs, I'm going to run out of fuel injector.
You would need direct import at least, possibly an additional fuel pump, which usually with E85 you do end up with an additional fuel pump. But
exactly.
Either way,
well, somebody's going to have, if they open it up, somebody's going to have to make better injectors that'll, for this if they're not going to do port. You know what I mean? They're just going to have to. So
port would.
I think that's where our limiting factor is going to be for a minute.
Yeah.
So fueling.
But yeah, guys, we got over 200 people watching, 115 thumbs up. Let's make those numbers match. Smash the thumbs up. Even Charles is saying hit the thumbs up. You don't want to upset him. So let's hit those thumbs ups, guys. It really helps the channel a lot. Darren,
Darren, that's that. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were going to say that.
Yeah, Darren says the same thing we've kind of been talking about. The Z06 had a safe, it has a safe tune and RPM redline. GM wanted to go conservative for longevity on a brand new engine. And I totally understand that. This is GM's first real attempt at a flat plane crank and big numbers on a flat plane crank. Like 5.5 liter is unheard of for flat plane cranks. Like that immediately screams unreliable whenever most people think flat plane crank, but GM did it and the freaking engine is amazing. So.
Well, that drivetrain, even at 8,600 is so stable, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
LT4 Powered said that violated your bail conditions, Rick. Back to jail.
Back to jail.
GM's gonna straight to jail.
Back to timeout.
Yeah. So Chopper Larry says, is the Grand Sport going to be a wide body? 100%. I would say it's 100%. Very unlikely that car would not be a wide body at this point.
Yeah, it always has been.
Yeah, it's always been a wide body. Plus, they have access to easily right now to the wide body. It honestly, from what I've seen with the numbers of production so far, it would be easier and cheaper for them to make it a wide body, even though that sounds odd. It's because they're making more wide body cars than narrow body cars at this point. With the ZR1, the E-Ray, the Z06, those are all wide body. The only narrow body is the Stingray. So it makes more sense to be a wide body than anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Hot Rod Todd says, I'll have to try the wink wink thing next time the cops are watching me. I don't recommend it.
No, just be streaming Justin's live stream when you get pulled over.
Yeah, don't do that either.
Like my cop.
I will completely pretend like I don't know who you are.
Well, the guy that pulled me over was a car guy and knew your channel, so that helped me. Yeah, so that actually helped me.
It could help, but it's way more likely it's going to hurt. So you're really rolling the dice if you go that route. Z06 Hot Rod Todd says GM modified the line to make more wide bodies, likely for the Grand Sport, I'd think. Likely, yeah. Between that and the Z1X and all those, yeah.
And that was like when I was up there to do my C6 museum experience in December. Almost everything rolling off that line was wide body. Yeah. It was E-Rays, ZR1, Z06. I only saw a couple of Stinger. Now they were making daily production, but I mean they were really pumping out the wide bodies, really were.
And the last time Rick was on here, we actually talked about it, and he was speculating that 40% of the new production is going to be Grand Sport. So if 40% of the cars rolling down that assembly line are Grand Sport and they're wide body, I bet you're probably seeing one Stingray every like 10th car. So Stingray is not, it's going to take a big back seat to the Grand Sport, the Z06, the ZR1, the E-Ray, the ZR1X. All of the wide body cars are coming first.
Right. Well, in the Grand Sport too, like you figure, look at it from a cost from GM perspective, right? It's going to be the same motor as the Stingray. It's just going to be the wide body kit. There's going to be the premium on it. That's the one they're going to make money on. You know what I mean? And they're going to keep cranking them jokers out. And look at that. I'm excited. Again, that would be something that, depending on where they put the pricing in, that'd be a very attractive option. So.
It has to be slotted between the Stingray and the E-Ray. There's no other place for it. And even if they do, let's say Stingray now starts at around 70. Let's say they start the Grand Sport at even 85, 90, even 90 is between the E-Ray and the E-Ray and the Stingray. So if they're starting it at 90, and the only real difference is the fenders are slightly wider and the wheels are different, slightly wider. Really, that's the only difference with the wide body. So if that's the case, they're making a big premium on that, especially if you buy the 3LZ version of that car. Then, or 3LT, I guess it would be. And then they're making even more money. So GM wants to make money on these cars. Of course, if you buy a 1LT non-Z51 Stingray, it was at one point at least, GM was actually losing money on that car. They make their money on the 3LTs, the Z51s. They make their money basically on the options. Anthony George said, so I shouldn't tell the cop HPO sent me if he gets pulled over. HPO wanted me to get here as fast as I could. No,
exactly.
Definitely don't do that. Yeah, Red C8 Z06 says $89,995. I could totally see that being the price. I'm thinking around 90 to 95 personally. Let's see. Yeah.
Does that put it too close to the E-Ray though?
No, I mean, that's still 10K under where the E-Ray's at.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if they come in at exactly 90, that's almost 20K under.
That's true there. Yeah, I guess depending on how you option it out. Yep.
Yeah, they've already built a lot of ZR1s. Bill says they're looking to build 200 ZR1s over the next 3 weeks. They're already at almost 1,000. They may have actually cracked 1,000 at this point. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like this car's not limited. They said that in the very beginning. They were very clear. This is not going to be a limited production. It's not going to be limit. What was the word they used? I can't remember. But basically, they said that it wasn't going to be limited by them. I figured it was going to be limited by price, which it is. There's not a huge demand for a $250,000 Corvette, so less will be sold. But that doesn't mean that they're limiting the production. It just means that the
and even in higher production numbers, they're going to sell every one they make. They're just not going to be getting these dealer premiums after a while, but they're going to sell every one they make.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. Especially,
but it won't be too long. Them jokers are going to start going for MSRP. You watch. They keep cranking them out like this. That's what
we've been saying. I've been saying on here now for at least the last 2 months that we had between 3 and 6 months. So by spring. Or by late spring, I bet you're seeing these cars on a regular basis at MSRP, if not below. With the ZR1X now the ZR1X is going to be way more limited. I don't know that GM has ever approached that question and said whether or not it's going to be limited, but it's going to be because it's even more expensive and there's like almost nobody getting allocations for those things. So that by itself is not really going to affect the ZR1 price that much. It might a little bit, but it's not going to affect it enough to push the price of the ZR1 way down.
And I honestly don't even think the auction price for the first one affects anything either. I just think it was like, Rick wasn't involved. There were some other things that were factors, but I don't think it affects
one of the things I wanted to talk
payoff
about
you're going to pay
tonight is that price was, I mean, you were on the live when we did it. Everybody, and myself included, I was thinking it was going to go for around 4.5 just because it's the new model and it's a one-of-one car. But the thing that's pushing back against all of this is the same thing that's going to push back on the ZR1 and is why we're going to be seeing it at MSRP soon, is that people are kind of tired of the C8. I mean, I guess that's not the right word. It's not as fresh as it once was. So the very first Stingray to sell, the very first Z06 especially, and then the very first ZR1, those were still like hot. Now it's like, We've seen this. Like the ZR1X looks exactly like a ZR1, only it's got an X on it. Like other than that, it's the same looking car. So why are we excited about this? And that's why it didn't go for as much. I guarantee you that's the reason.
Well, and it also makes a difference. Is that the reason? Like, because Hendrick already has the ZR1. Is he like, the X?
Right.
Do I really? Is that really a new model for me to get the first one of?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I don't think it affects the pricing at all. I think what's going to affect the pricing, like you said, is the availability. Because as long as it's this mysterious, weird allocation system they're currently working and limited availability, those upcharges are going to stay. Those ADMs are going to stay there. But the ZR1s, if they keep cranking them out the way they're cranking them out, they'll be MSRP way before you know it.
I say late spring at the latest. I bet you at late.
And who knows? Next year, this time we may be seeing mark-offs if they keep cranking them out the way they crank out.
I don't even think it will be that long. I think late spring we'll start seeing MSRP, maybe even hair below. There was somebody on Facebook I saw not too long ago that claimed that they had bought a ZR1 for $2,000 under MSRP. I don't know if it's true, but it's not. It's not horribly unlikely.
I guess if you really know somebody,
yeah.
I guess if you really know somebody, then that's possible. I'm not going to say it's not possible. It's plausible. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So,
David asked, why do they keep changing colors? Are the removed ones not selling, or is this a tactic to keep people buying new cars? I would answer that question with yes,
right,
because it's both.
Well, that's the same way.
Yeah.
I'll say that's the same way with the interior refresh.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing. Yep.
That's to get people to buy new cars.
Yep.
Right. So
you're buying new cars because there's a lot of people out there. And honestly, maybe more so with the Corvette than any other car I've ever seen, that they have to have the latest and greatest thing. And it's crazy, but I'm starting to fall into it myself a little bit, where it's like, why am I even thinking about this? But it is kind of, you get the new color, plus the Hysteria Purple especially. And actually I have there it is. The actual guide here showing the popular colors. And you can see Hysteria was dead last. That's why they're getting rid of Hysteria.
Now look at the Roswell. I told you, like, that's actually impressive, because like I said, I've done several, a lot more than I thought I was going to ever do as far as manifolds go. So there must be a good many people buying the Z06 in the Roswell, but those numbers are actually pretty impressive compared to the, especially the Riptide and the Hysteria. That's crazy.
Well, if you look at it, it's right at Riptide where they were like, you know what, we need to start making some changes here. Riptide kind of breaks the trend of 1200-ish down to 794, and then of course all the way down to 451 for Hysteria. But where I was the most surprised is Torch Red. Usually Torch Red's in the top 3, but now we got black, white, and silver. The new silver. Those 3 are leading the pack. With
I wouldn't have even given that new silver a second thought until I saw you stealth PPF one.
Totally agree.
I wouldn't have even, but now I'm like, that's my second number 2 color actually right there.
Same here.
Yep, 100%, dude.
Brian says, what blue are they replacing the Riptide blue? So far, there's not a new blue coming. Now, the 2 colors that I confirmed tonight, one being a gray and one being Admiral blue, there could be additional on top of that, of course. And I would imagine they're not going to take blue away and not give us anything to replace it. But as of now, nothing. 3 shades of gray beat all of the colors. And that really starts to tell you something, because people like the people that are out there complaining, why doesn't GM give us any cool colors, blah, blah, blah. And I'm one of them, so I get it. Why don't we get any cool colors? This is why. Look at this diagram. This is why we're not getting cool colors, because people keep buying black, white, and gray. This is what sells. So why would GM take the time and the effort to make a new crazy exotic color that's very likely to end up being canceled in 2 years because it's not popular? I mean, Hysteria was one of their boldest color choices yet for the Corvette, and there it is. It's a dead last. Now, I'm not a big fan of Hysteria. I don't think they did it quite right, but at the same time, this was a bold choice by them, and they're using this as like kind of, their data points to say, well, maybe we don't go this crazy next time. But either way, it is interesting to see the top colors of this car being sold being pretty basic colors.
Right.
But
again, basic colors are safe, right? Like, I mean,
that's my point. They're safe because you look at the numbers there and you can't deny those.
Yep. You can't. Nope.
Chili Pepper says, could pitch be a metallic black like Carbon Flash? I've heard it's a gray. That's all I can tell you. I don't know. There's no confirmation of the pitch color being gray, but that's what I've heard. So the opulent blue is 100% Admiral. That's confirmed. But the pitch could be pretty much anything at this point. As you saw, some of the names of those internal color codes are pretty crazy. So pitch could be anything. But I've heard a couple people say that it means a gray in their system. So we'll see. Yeah, John Deere.
Yeah, Kim, I was surprised by that too.
What's that?
I was just saying the same thing you were just saying right now. Like, I was surprised by that too.
Yeah. Honestly, Roswell Green had a slow start. It was really, really slow. Whenever they first showed this color chart, like 3 months after they were making the 26s, Roswell Green was dead last. So it has picked up a lot since, 2 months or so into the 26 production. But it is interesting that it's above Torch Red. This is the first time, based on this chart, Torch Red it's a possibility that it gets canned. If it keeps dropping, it might go. And that would be interesting because it would be, if you don't offer a red on a Corvette, things are changing.
Yeah, but that Torch Red that red is iconic. I don't know if they ever get rid of it, even if it doesn't sell. At least it's selling well enough. But
that's what I mean.
Shocks me,
if it
like
drops more.
Oh yeah. Well, and the Roswell, like I said, it works and it works with certain color combinations, but it's not what we all wanted, like the lizard green or the Lambo green or the Lambo purples and stuff. The Hysteria has really grown on me. I'm not gonna lie, but looking at it from a standpoint of, you see it next to a purple Lambo and you're like, okay, that's perfect.
That's exactly it. And that was my thing, is every now and then I would see Hysteria and I'm like, yeah, maybe that's not that bad. But then again, that purple that they used on the Huracans was perfect purple. That's the color they should have used. And that is when right then, that's not a purple.
And I, like I said, it's grown on me and I like the Hysteria, I do, but if I wanted just a purple, because now I like the fact that it's a little blue, it's a little purple, but like originally I didn't, but like if I wanted just the purple and that's it, it would certainly be, like you said, that Lambo purple. It's like you said, it's perfect. It's perfect purple.
All right, so we got an entry from Steve Robertson.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how long Torch Red's been running as a color. Like uninterrupted from when it was first introduced. Was it the C4?
No, because C6 was not technically Torch Red. That was Victory Red. The C6,
Victory Red.
Z06, and at least in 2008, it was Victory Red.
Right. Because yours was Victory Red.
That was Victory Red, yep.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so we are at...
No, Bill, I have to disagree with you. I didn't have to talk myself into it. It actually won me over. When I originally saw it, I wasn't a fan, but once I accepted it, that it wasn't a purple, that it was a blue and purple hybrid color. Once I accepted it, and I saw it with the right trims, I was like, oh yeah, that's actually a nice color. That looks really good. But to go out and say this is purple, yeah, I'll never say that because it's not really purple. I'm sorry, purple, but not purple. But I like it for what it is now. I don't like it as a purple, but I love the blue and the purple mix. I really do. So,
I personally would have preferred an actual purple, because if they would have done like that,
I would have too.
If they would have done the Lambo purple with habanero interior on an actual purple exterior, that is 100% exotic car vibes. But
exactly.
Shane probably not. I don't know if Shane's in here tonight or not, but he said it best at the Bash, the year that they released Hysteria Purple. He said, I'm going to call that safe purple. And I was like, that's perfect, because that's the purple that kept GM in a safe place. They weren't going too purple or too blue. They were keeping it in the middle so that they kind of got both sides. Or Vlad, conservative purple. Like,
there you go.
Or some people,
and like I said,
some people call it blurple.
I accept it for what it is. Yeah, and I accept it for what it is now, and I really do appreciate it. But if I was gonna buy, if I wanted a purple, that wouldn't be my purple.
Right.
But did you see Red Sea? It just said Torch Red was introduced by GM on the '93 C4 Corvette.
Yeah, but it has not
I
been
thought
running.
it was
It
a
hasn't been
C4.
running consecutive.
It
Since
did
then.
run continuously. Yeah, no. But that was my like, how long has that color been around? So
That's interesting actually, because there was a guy at a car show last summer that had a C4 Corvette that was red, obviously torch red, and it looked like it had just rolled off the showroom floor. And I was talking to this guy. I was like, I have never seen paint this old look this good, because I mean I've seen C4 Corvettes typically very hit or miss. If it's a miss, it's a hard freaking miss. Like they're
well, and that
cracked,
was
the
like from
paint's chipping.
factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like this one, the
Yeah.
paint job on it was so good. And I asked him, I said,
Mismatched panels.
yeah. I asked him, I said, is
Yeah.
this factory paint? And he said, yeah, it's 100% factory. And I was like, wow, it looked really good. So yeah. 2005 to 2009 was Victory Red. Other than that, I think they had Torch Red. Somebody else said there was another red. What did I see? Maybe that was you. Victory. No, Bill said 2006 was Millennium Red. It's interesting because 2005 to 2009 was Victory Red, and that was also, they also used that same color on the Chevy Cobalts. They had a Victory Red on the Cobalt as well.
I remember that.
And then my
I remember
Camaro,
that.
I had a Camaro ZL1 in 2014. It came in, it was called Red Hot. Interesting how many different reds there are.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
All right,
But
guys.
yeah, and as far as the blues too, man, like they put out some really good Corvette blues, but like the Watkins Glen, that gray, then you have like the Le Mans blue, like there's been some really good freaking colors, man.
I want Cyber Gray back. Give me Cyber.
Shark gray.
No, Cyber. I think after doing some
No.
research, I think Cyber's nicer. I would take either one, Cyber Gray or Shark Gray.
Right.
Laguna Blue for the blue. I think those two colors, just those two by themselves, you open up the palette so nicely. The Cyber Gray especially reminds me a lot of the same gray that they use on the Huracans or the
the Cyber gray is very nice. Yeah,
it's like
very,
a darker,
nice.
a little bit of a darker gray, and a lot of people are speculating that this pitch that I showed is going to be a darker gray.
No, that was very nice. But Le Mans blue, the Watkins Glen that they did in the C7. I mean, like there's so many cool colors that they can do and bring back.
Wheeler says
Long
Hysteria
Beach
was
red.
McDonald's Grimace
That's a good
purple. That's
one.
funny. All right, guys, we have 230 people watching, 139 thumbs ups. Let's make those numbers match, guys. Smash the thumbs up for me. Let me know you're liking the content. We're going to be giving away one custom painted intake here tonight, guys. So make sure you're getting in on the giveaway tonight if you want to win one of these. So basically any color you want this thing painted, you can get it painted. These are just some of the examples of what you could potentially see under your hatch when you pop the hatch to look at your engine. I mean, look at that. That's fantastic. Don't pass this up, guys. The giveaway ends tonight. The Venmo link is pinned to the top of the chat, or you can use Super Chat right here on YouTube to donate. Every $10 is an entry. $50 or more is double entries. We will be giving these away in about 10 minutes, so get in on it.
I've kind of enjoyed the people putting their vanity plates in the chat too. We're gonna have to do that another night. There's been some good ones. We'll have to do that one night. Make it like a vanity plate night.
The best vanity plate wins something.
Yeah, because Tyler Vader says his is Cyber C8. I like that one too.
That is
I love it. And I do like Dan's. I like Mighty Quick. Like I do like his stuff too, 10 second.
RVA C806 says how much to have it painted. Normally, David paints the intakes, the throttle bodies and everything, sends them to you, and then you would send him your core basically. And David, you can go ahead and tell him how much that is.
Well, it's three grand. You'd pay taxes, shipping through the website, whatever else, and then depending on what the current going rate on the parts market is for the used manifold you send back, it's like $350, give or take. It goes up a little bit, comes down. But yeah, you basically right around 3 grand plus tax would be your cost, just normally. So we run a special every year at Carlisle, just so you know. But that's the only time we ever put them on sale. And then we evidently every January we do giveaway now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
at this point, we're making it a yearly thing.
I guess every now, yeah.
So this is probably, I can't think of a more expensive giveaway that we've done. So I think this is probably the most expensive giveaway. So doing it only one time a year, of course, makes sense. But just so you guys understand, this is $3,000 being given away here. So any of you guys who donate $50 and you take a pretty good chance at winning. If you were to win at a $50 donation, think about what that means. Like for $50, you just won a $3,000 intake, and you can send back your stock one to David.
Yeah, you'll make money.
And you'll make money on the freaking thing. So it's like, it's a no-brainer.
Exactly.
RVA C8 says heat rated paint. Question mark.
Yeah, the paint is actually GM paint. It's just the same stuff that GM would use, but we do put a high temp clear on it. You will not have any issues. I've had mine on my car for 2 years now, and I do not baby my car. I run it hard. You'll never have any issues with any coloring or any changing, anything like that. Absolutely not.
I had one of his intakes on my black C8 Z06 for roughly a year and never had any problems with it either.
Yep. Chopper Larry. LT6. I like yours. That's a good one. Larry.
That's not bad. Yeah. How about that? So the custom plates get interesting because you have to be pretty creative to get what you want, especially if it's been taken. Like mine, whenever I first got my C8 Z06, everybody kept calling it a Batmobile. So I tried like mad to find a different way to word Batmobile, and every single one of them was taken. Every single one was going.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yep. Well, that's the thing too. Like when you're talking about like these plates, like you have to like because Georgia doesn't use O's; they only use zeros because they don't want confusion. Right. If you're looking, I know some other states do it too. Yeah, so you have to like if you've got more than one O or zero, you have because everybody's using them, so you have to come up with other ways to do it. So. Turnaround time. If you win tonight, I'll have it done by the end of the week. Usually, if I have manifolds in stock from GM, which normally I do, your turnaround time, I'm going to tell you a lead time of 4 to 6 weeks just because, I don't want anybody to ever get upset if I'm waiting for intakes from GM. But usually 2 weeks is about the average turnaround time from the time you actually place your order to the time it hits your front door.
This one was pretty good. Drive by Day says, when I get my C8 Z06, I'm planning on Emu 458 for my license plate. I like that.
That's the one for tonight.
Yeah, that would be the winner for sure. But we'd have to make some rules on that. It would have to be one that you already have. You have to already have it. You can't just,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I love it. Yeah, I saw Sam was in the chat tonight too. Haven't seen him in a while. Yeah. Just wanted to say hi to Sam.
PR says you can use Super Chat right here on YouTube. Or if you go to the very top of the chat pinned, I have my Venmo link, which if you don't want to go all the way up there, all you got to do is send it to Horsepower Obsessed, all one word, and that's me. So every $10 is an entry, $50 or more, double entries. And we got 2 entries. Actually, Sam got in as well. So
Glass City Carter says his son, it says Jort Man.
Jort Man.
Oh man, you guys are awesome. And with the people that are in our chat all the time that subscribe to your channel and that are members, they are so brilliant anyway. So I'm sure there's some fantastic ones out there. That's great.
I'm surprised based on the knowledge that I have that Professor Corvette does not have some like incredibly hilarious vanity plate on his.
So I saw one in Atlanta traffic. And this was years ago, and I couldn't get my phone out quick enough to actually. It literally said letter I, H, the number 8, T, U, A. It said, I hate you all. How that got through the DMV and got done, but it literally said, I hate you all. I was like, that is awesome Atlanta plate.
That's not anything overly, derogatory.
No,
the guy has
I'm sure somebody looked at it and went, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Wheeler O'Hara says Roswell Green should just be Area 51 or Alien. That's probably what I would do. Drive by Day.
Exactly.
Says New Balance.
New Balance.
That's pretty good.
That's great.
Hemi Killer. How about that? Oh, park that beside your Challenger that says not a Z06.
Yep. I couldn't believe that was one too. Like it did. I switched it when I just did my plates. So
I can't believe that. Well, I guess I can, but initially I wanted a custom plate for my C7 ZR1, And of course, ZR1's taken. So I was like, well, what else can I do? And I was just like, you know what? I'll put HPO on there. And it wasn't taken. So then I realized all you got to do is just put HPO in front of anything and it's not going to be taken.
Right.
So like,
Exactly.
freedom of speech.
Yep.
Yeah, it's freedom of speech until you put something on there that the DMV doesn't like, and then they take it down.
I love how Riptide had one Adam 12. Very nice. And then he said he sold it for $2K after 30 years.
Yep. I was gonna say
Nice,
somebody's gonna buy that for sure.
Yep.
All right. So one thing I did mention on the live that we did for the Barrett-Jackson thing, which just in case you guys didn't get to see that, the ZR1X at the Barrett-Jackson auction sold for $2.6 million, and it was Rick Hendrick that bought it. It wasn't him directly. Apparently, he had somebody there bidding for him, but it ultimately is Rick Hendrick's car. So $2.6 million for the ZR1X at that Barrett-Jackson auction, which we actually did live here on the channel. But if you didn't get to see that, I just wanted to mention it real quick. And then also something we mentioned on that live was another interesting topic, and that is that Chevy is going to be bringing back the build your own engine experience for the 26, Z06, ZR1, and ZR1X. So this is really cool. I do plan on getting a ZR1, so maybe I would look into this option, but it is very likely to be pretty expensive as well, guys. So in the past, it has been $5,000. It would not surprise me if it's actually even more this time around. So I would count on at least $5,000, but it is a pretty cool experience from what I've heard. I've talked to a couple people that did it with the C7, and it was awesome to actually have your hand involved in building your engine. Plus, you get to sign the plaque at the end with the guy who helped you. So you basically have two signatures on that plaque, which would be really freaking cool to have your signature on your engine. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I was working with the plant team to try to get same engine builder for mine anyway. And now that they're bringing this back, it's going to be a lot easier because I can just request to do it with Shane, and then that way his name would be on it. RVA said, "How do I enter again?"
Oh, RVA, if you go up to the very top, there's a pinned link for Venmo. If you have a Venmo, all you got to do is just send it to Horsepower Obsessed, all one word. Or you can do it right here on YouTube, down by the chat button. There's a little money symbol, and that will allow you to donate as well. Lewis said that he loved the color of the ZR1X at the Barrett-Jackson auction. I do too, man. I really hope that this ends up being
really good.
If this ends up being pitch, I'm in. This is the color I'm going for 100%. The big thing to me is there is a chance, because this is a one-of-one car, is what Chevy and Barrett-Jackson and everything was talking about. What makes this a one-of-one is not necessarily the color, but it could potentially be the finish. Because if that color exists as a gloss version, so let's just speculate for a second that the pitch that I showed you earlier is this color, but it's gloss. That makes it a different color as far as GM's concerned. So this still would be a one-of-one. So we could potentially get this color in a gloss finish, which I would then immediately stealth wrap anyway, because that looks fantastic being matte like that. But it is possible.
Oh, yeah.
As of this point, it is somewhat possible we would see this color on a 27. And if we do, I'll probably wait for a 27 because that's the color.
Yeah, that color is sick. It was very nice.
Yeah, Ricky, that's not a horrible point. I thought that same thing. He said he strongly believes it didn't go as high as we thought because everyone already knows Rick Hendrick's going to win, so it makes it less attractive. I don't disagree, but at the same time, I do think we're seeing some C8 fatigue is what's happening here. I think people are getting a little, they're like, okay, we're kind of over this. Let's see something new, especially since the ZR1X doesn't look any different physically than the ZO or the ZR1. Yeah, this is okay for entry, Lars. I'm gonna have to look up the what's that called? The US translation here for that.
Yeah, that color, you're right, guys, with the blue interior calipers and to do the blue interior. Oh, whoo, that would really, 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 really look nice.
Oh, okay, so that looks like Swedish. Is that what that is? SEK is Swedish. Yeah. So that looks like about a $20 donation. Lars. I thought it was funny the one time I had somebody donate, I don't remember how much it was now, but it was like $20,000 or something. And I was like, oh my God, I'm retiring. Like, and then it ended up being like Japanese, whatever. And I did the math on it. I was like, oh, $20. Okay. That makes more sense. You can skip that RVA. You don't have to actually put that in. As long as you're putting it at horsepower obsessed, that's 100% me. You don't have to put in the number. V8
yeah, anything. Go ahead.
He says factory matte colors are hard to keep looking good. That's true if you don't PPF them, because if you get a scratch or something on it, you can't just polish it out, or else you'll make a shiny spot. So if you were to ever get a factory matte color, the first place that car goes before anywhere is to a PPF shop, and it gets stealth PPF.
Any 100%. Car, man. I don't care. Like the amount of money that you pay for PPF versus what you would have to do for all the other stuff. I mean, you know, like even like the tire that hit Brandon's car and hit it hard enough to break the windshield and the headlight and everything else, the paint was fine.
Yeah.
The PPF protected the paint. So
yeah, Professor, okay, I can survive on 20 grand for the rest of my life, okay?
Don't live beyond your means, Professor.
Yeah, really. All right, so Eric, I got you in for 20 entries, it looks like.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like
Vietnamese dong is like $3. Yeah, imagine seeing that coming on the screen. Somebody donated 3 million. I'd be like, whoa.
And Robert Brun brings up a good point. Like the ZR1X doesn't look a whole lot different, but the performance. But if you already have a ZR1, if you're one of those guys or those folks that already has a ZR1, is that extra performance enough for you to drop the ZR1 and get a ZR1X? Probably not. Guys. I mean,
I was going to say there is one person that I know, and you do too, that's yes to that.
Yeah.
Question.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, 100%. That person's going to liquidate everything else.
Yeah.
And
honestly, in his situation, it 100% makes sense. Like there is no other way he should go about that. It makes perfect sense. But if you have just a ZR1 and that's it, the bump to the ZR1X, first off, being a lot harder to get, more expensive, is it worth the bump on a car that's already 1,064 horsepower to 1,250? Is it worth it? I personally would say no, and that's just because I'm a little bit biased against the hybrid stuff, but I don't think I would make that jump.
Well, but also too, man, like we're getting to that point of almost diminishing returns. Like most people have never driven 1,000 horsepower car. It is not like driving a Z06. It is a whole different ball game. And if you're going from 1,000 to 1,200, again, it's diminishing returns. But if 1,000 is not enough for you, you're like me, and you got a real problem where it doesn't matter what it is. It's just not fast. It'll never be fast enough, you know. So.
Z06 Hot Rod Todd says pretty much this is 100% it. The drag guys.
Exactly.
Drag times.
Yep.
Steven, if you're running a drag strip a lot, the ZR1X is you. And honestly, even the latest announcement from GM on the ZR1X, they didn't even talk about track use. It was all drag strip use. So I think even GM is recognizing that this car appeals to a different crowd than the track cars. Drive by Day says you would be the right guys to ask. Is Z07 too much stiffer? I've driven one with aftermarket aero, but I don't know if the suspension ruins it. So I will tell you, my very first 23 Z06 was not a Z07. I wanted a Z07, but I couldn't get it. And built it with the aero and everything to look as much like a Z07 as possible. When I sold that, I bought an actual OEM Z07 car. And the difference, I'll be honest, I can't tell. It is a stiff riding car no matter how you cut it, the Z06 or the Z07. And from what GM has said, the Z07 is only like 10% stiffer than a Z06. So it's really not something you're going to notice until you're at 99% on a track. Then you might notice the extra.
Right, and you also have to say that the difference between comfort mode and comfort mode is going to be this much.
Right.
Whereas when you're in track mode, track two, it's a 10% difference. So I mean, you're talking about at the very end of the envelope of performance. Exactly. You're probably not going to know. But I'll be like Justin. Like these are stiff cars.
Yeah.
Like they are stiff cars, but a lot of us like that stiff, and we want to feel that we're in that car. So
100%, the Z07 is what I wanted from the very beginning because I wanted to feel I like the feeling of a stiff riding sports car. I want to know that I'm in a sports car. So the Z07 always has appealed to me. My C7 Z06 was also a Z07 for the same reason. That's the best way to get the cars, in my opinion.
Right.
Now,
right. And again, I wanted it, but literally when early 23, 24, you couldn't get any of it. So
yeah, 10 seconds Z06 says definitely get a Z07 if you can afford it.
Yep.
It honestly, to me, it doesn't even matter if you're going to track it. I hear that a lot. Well, if you're not going to track it, just get a Z06. I get a Z07 either way. Either way, get a Z07. I think that's the better way to go. Yep. Yeah, I talked to Street Speed the other night. He sold his ZR1, which I was actually kind of surprised about because we had talked in the past about it, and he said he wasn't going to sell it. But the thing is the 2025 ZR1s are going to be worth money eventually. We're not talking about tomorrow. So by the time it's worth money to him, it makes more sense for him to unload it and get the next best thing to make money on content-wise. Because his channel's so large, it doesn't make sense for him to hold on to cars for 20, 30 years to maybe it will be worth some money. That kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, if you're the Z01 1LE is probably a slightly stiffer riding car than the Z07, Z06, but only by a little bit. The Z01 1LE is to this day the stiffest riding car I've ever driven. And that says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then somebody asked about the competition yellow. It's not a metallic, it's a tint coat, but some of the, just like Sebring orange is not a metallic, it's a tint coat. There's just multiple layers that you have to paint in. So they actually are a little bit more difficult and they are a little bit more expensive as well, but it's a tint coat that has multiple layers, but there's no real, because Sebring orange is a tint coat, but it doesn't have any metallic in it. Same with the competition yellow. In my opinion, that's why it looks so good, is that it's the multiple stage tint coats. So,
yep. All right, guys, I'm going to give you 4 more minutes to get in on the giveaway here. I am all caught up with everybody who has donated so far. You got 4 more minutes to get in on the giveaway for the custom painted intakes. If you're not sure what that is, this is for the C8 Corvette Z06. You can get them custom painted any color you want. Literally any color. It doesn't have to match your car, but most of the time that's what people go for. Like this Roswell green option here, you can see it's painted black down the center with the throttle bodies. The throttle bodies on the very end would also be painted black if you want them to be. It's totally up to you. You don't have to paint them black. You can paint them neon pink. All of these things can be painted whatever color you want. You're winning this tonight. This is a $3,000 plus option that you can potentially win tonight for donation starting at $10 is an entry. Anything above 50 is double entries. And we don't have that many entries at this point. We have, I think, 16 or 17 people. So your odds of winning something like this are pretty good. But you got 4 minutes to get in on this. And once that window closes, we're going to close this thing up. And this is getting given away tonight. So get in on this while you still can, guys. We got a couple heavy hitters in there, but for the most part, there's not that many entries. So get in.
yeah, no, the competition yellow is not school bus yellow. Yeah, I'm not a yellow car guy, but I really like the competition yellow. It is the quintessential vet yellow, like the racing yellow. It looks amazing. It does not look school bus yellow. It looks good, actually.
Yeah.
So.
That's not true, Bill. I did not say 4 minutes an hour ago. I literally just looked at my clock and said 4 minutes. If you're getting Hysteria, you better put that order in now because they will start to cancel orders or move you to a different color at least. I personally like competition yellow much better than accelerate yellow. I think if you're going to go, I'm not a yellow guy, but if you're going to go with the yellow, make it yellow. You know what I mean? Like accelerate tried to be just like they did with Hysteria. They tried to do 2 colors in one. Accelerate looked kind of yellow but kind of green.
Yeah, same with the Amplify Orange. I was like, oh, it's a nice orange car. But then when you remember when we were at Supercar Saturday and the Amplify one, and then the Sebring C7 ZR1 came in, we were like, no, that's orange. Yeah, exactly.
Doug, that's a good question. When is Chevy going to offer the C8 Corvette with a proper manual transmission? There's some rumor flying that it could potentially come with the Grand Sport, but a lot of the people I've talked to have said that that's not going to be the case. So it's possible, but very unlikely. I think we'll probably see the return of that for the C9, if I had to guess. We'll see that at some point in the C9 lineup, just because that Tremec transmission looks too much like something built for a Corvette to not end up in a Corvette eventually.
Well, I had some people, especially that we were BSing with the other day, that said that they think it may end up being like a body in white kind of option, where there are people that are racing a spec series that is a manual series, that they may end up producing some like body in white kind of thing for that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's either way, it's going to end up in a Corvette eventually.
And I can't wait.
Drive by Day says Accelerate Yellow looked like you could get your speed checked from the International Space Station.
It looked like a highlighter to me.
Yeah, it was highlighter. That's what everybody called it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and you're right, RV8. I love Sebring. Sebring is sexy. It looks so good. Joe Lamb's spec with the Sebring E-Ray with the habanero interior.
That's the only way. I mean, if you're going to get Sebring orange, you better do the orange interior. Like it makes perfect sense.
Yep. Yeah, Joe, if you guys haven't, look it up. Joe's car is hot. It looks really good.
That's why it's called habanero. That's a hot pepper.
Habanero.
All right, guys. Still have over 200 people watching. We don't have 200 thumbs up though, so something isn't quite right, guys. Smash the thumbs up if you can. It really helps the channel. We're about to give these or give this painted throttle or the painted intake away. So that's my thing, Chopper Larry. I've said from the very beginning, the second the C8 came out in 2020, that we were never going to see a manual transmission in there because the center console height is way too high. You're literally, you'd be shifting up here. Like you'd be driving and shifting like this. Like it wouldn't work right. But it is possible that they make some sort of change. That getting changed for 2020 or for the C9 would make more sense than to change it currently for the C8. So that's why I'm saying I do think we'll see a manual, but I don't think it's going to be in the C8.
Yeah, and Dick Fowler 60 hating on the LS7. Look, man, this one back here, I tell you, is not a dud, bro. If you do that motor right, that motor is a legend. I have never seen anything like it. And I've got badass Coyotes, 9,000 RPM Coyotes, and nothing pulls like this thing. NA, that is.
Rally spec shifter. Yeah, I was just thinking that as I did that animation there. Yeah, you got to pull it up here to drift out the rear. All right, so I'm going to start putting these things into the wheel here, guys. Let me see. I don't think we got... No, there was no additional... Nothing additional as far as entries go. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting these names into the wheel. We got... Let me see what this says. Wheel... let's close that out. So we have 20 entries. Okay. 20 entries, guys. With the biggest one right now, looks like it's Charles at 220 entries. Anthony George at 200. Somebody named David entered. Kevin Reynolds at 210. Okay. All right, we got our wheel. So let's see what we got here.
Oh, yeah. Yes, King, the Grand Sport is absolutely confirmed.
You keep reading this.
We're seeing the same comments.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, all these comments, and we're choosing the same freaking one. Yeah, so it was leaked on an internal GM document at an actual dealership, the Grand Sport options. So, yeah, Bill said Charles changed his mind. He doesn't want it. All right, guys, so here's the wheel. I'm going to have Somebody who's not biased here. Who hasn't entered?
Professor.
Yeah, Professor Corvette. Tell me, I'll read them. Professor Corvette, between 1 and 10, how many times should I shuffle this wheel?
That way he always says things it's rigged. That way
It doesn't matter what I do. He's going to say it. Anthony George says I'm not biased. Yeah, no, not at all, man. No, Bill, you're entered. You can't say. I know, Professor.
All right,
go ahead.
Professor.
How many times?
Come on, man.
1 and 7 or 1 and 10? How many times?
Exactly. 4.5.
Of course. Why would I think that it would be a normal response?
Never get a straight answer.
All right, seriously, it can't have decimals in it. 1 to 10, which one?
Everybody's waiting on you, Professor.
Whole number, yeah. No fractions, no decimals.
All right, Professor.
Come on.
Oh, he's saying pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Amber put 8.
He says, okay, you got me. 3.
Okay.
All right, 3.
All right.
All right, here we go. So shuffle 1, 2, 3. There we go, guys. Here we go. Are you ready? Let me check something here. Kevin Haran says he put in last week.
He did put in last week.
Why am I not seeing that? What did he? How much did you donate last week, Kevin? I don't know why I'm not seeing that. That's not good.
Yeah, I do remember him putting in last week.
Kevin. 7. Yeah, he did 50. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know why that didn't pull that up. All right, so I will adjust Kevin's here for 50 more. So that put him at 10 more than... So he should be at 20. All right, let me just... I'm going to double check this one more time, guys, just to make sure nothing else slipped through, because that does not look
Yeah,
right.
double check it. Yep. Yeah, and somebody said about the colors on the car builder. I hated them on the car builder. Look, we have AI that is almost so good you can't even tell it's like not real, and GM still sucks at getting the colors on the car builder to look like the colors on the car. I don't know what they're getting at, but like they can put a lot more money into that for what you get out of the actual car builder. Bill, the wheel is on constraint. Yeah, no, Dodge actually does a good purple boy wonder. You're right. Like Plum Crazy is always going to be an amazing purple, but and some of their blue, their B5 blue for Dodge too is a good color. They have some really good colors, but their purple they do it right, man. You're right. It's really cool. I just my boy's 69 Dart. It's a slant 6. That was his drag car was Plum Crazy. We had to paint Plum Crazy, and it looks good, man. Yeah, the car builder is for as far as we are, Bo. Like seriously, man. Like as far as we are here for technology, and that car builder looks like. I mean, every video game you play nowadays, even on your phone, has better like imaging and graphics than that thing. So they need to fix the car builder. It looks like crap.
All right, I got everybody added in there.
All right.
Kevin Horan's was the only one that was missing. I don't know why that was missing from last week. But yeah, Michael McCurry, you're in there. You are in the wheel. So, all right, let's do another shuffle here. So this time, what is this? Wheeler O'Hara, give me a number between 1 and 10 of how many times to shuffle this since we changed it up a bit.
Yeah, I'm out of coffee. We got to spend this.
Man, David, if it wasn't you giving this thing away, I'd just ask you.
Well, exactly.
I want to try to make it obvious that it's
completely impartial. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to pick a spin number. I don't want anybody saying I favored anybody.
Right.
I like everybody in here, man. Brian Maxwell said 7. Where's who did you ask? You asked Wheeler.
Yeah, Wheeler. All right, Brian, we're gonna go with Brian because that's totally even more so impartial if I didn't even ask that person. So we'll do 7.
There you go.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we are spinning this thing, guys. Every time I shuffle, the color changes, Bill. That's why. All right, here we go.
Round and round it goes. Big bucks, no whammies.
No freaking way. No way. God dang it. Oh my God. So CJ, after all that talk, you still freaking, oh my God. That's interesting.
I guess redness metallic it is after all.
That's really
congratulations, my man. Congratulations.
All right, Jay. You know my information. Shoot me a text. Jay, I'll tell you what, man. If I was you, I would not stop donating on these things because you do seem to win quite a bit.
I swear, man. Like, he really does.
All right, guys. Jay, huge congrats. That's a big win for you this time.
Yeah.
Obviously, just send me an email or a text. Let me know your shipping address again. I know you've sent it a million times, but I don't keep it on hand. So send me your information. I'll get it over to David.
And let Justin, I don't know if you have ported throttle bodies already. Let Justin know if you're interested. So that way I can plan with you.
I'm pretty sure he does.
But you can swap them over. It's fine. Yep. You got it, man.
Yeah, Jay, let me know how you want to do it. Because if you want those throttle bodies painted black, you'll have to either send them to David or buy a new set, however it is you want to do it. So, yeah, guys.
Yeah,
awesome.
if you have your stock ones and you can send me those, I'll paint them for you, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome giveaway, guys. Very, very cool. Thumbs up all around. Congratulations to Jay. Big thank you to David for making this possible. But yeah, at the end of the day, you can win some serious prizes on this channel, and that's awesome. Joe, Steven says, or Steve says
my name to Jay.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for tonight, though. We appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. But that's it, guys. We'll see you same time, same place next Monday night.
Take care, guys.
See ya.